you know that we can't worry about the things they say, 'cause they can't change the way we feel. No, what we have is more than they'll ever know, 'cause what we have is oh so real. Alright.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm back with another segment of Life and Music. This time I present to you a song that was life changing, literally for me. Been a songwriter, music producer, been in the industry for a number of years, and worked on a lot of different projects from the Calloway Brothers, Whispers, the late great Coco Lee, who was a very, very huge international star. Um, and this project with Teddy Pendergrass, and I would mention him as well. Did some things on Teddy's projects, and this particular song, "Believe in Love," was originally produced and written. I was a co-producer on that song on Teddy Pendergrass's "A Little More Magic" record, and there was a remix done to "Believe in Love," and that remix was actually used by Justin Timberlake and NSYNC for one of their songs called "I'll Be Good for You." And so I never will forget this. I was at the time, I was really just dealing with some things that a lot of artists deal with, just frustrations, wonder why things aren't really happening the way I want them to happen. And I was really praying at the time. I was praying, that Lord, if you want me to continue to be a part of just music, not necessarily the music business, but just to continue on creatively to do what my passion has always been, to write and produce music, to release music. So I prayed, and 2 weeks went by, and I went to my mailbox, and I saw something, and it was an envelope that I could, fill the envelope. It was from Jive Zamba record label, and I played this. It was a CD that was in the package, and I was like, I didn't know what was going on, and I made a phone call to Reggie Calloway, who was I worked with Reggie and Vincent Calloway, and so we were part of the Teddy Pendergrass project. And I asked Reggie, I said, man, what's going on with this? I got this in the mail. Long story short, we come to find out that NSYNC wanted to use a portion of "Believe in Love" for a song on their No Strings Attached CD. And can I tell you that I was, number one, just like, wow, this is just amazing. It was something that I attributed to an answer to my prayers, and it was a huge answer. And you know what? I just want to encourage you guys. Now, some of you guys might not believe in the Lord, may not be Christians or whatever, but I believe that God is always doing things on behalf of his children. Some things we will never know and understand what's happening behind the scenes. And this particular situation, it just literally just came out of left field. I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea, but it came right on time because God knew that I needed something to encourage me at that time or give me the the um, the confirmation that I was praying for to continue on to do what I believe that he called for me to do. And that song that was originally produced by Teddy Pendergrass, done as a remix. And I heard the story. I guess Justin Timberlake's music director had heard the song. And when they were coming up with songs, for the No Strings Attached CD, he said, you know what, man, I love this groove. Why don't we try this out for a new song? And so, how this whole situation works, I'll tell you how this whole situation worked. You have one song that's with Teddy Pendergrass, Believe in Love, that myself, along with Reggie Vincent Calloway, my songwriting partner at the time, Steve Beckham, we all wrote this song and we produced it for Teddy Pendergrass. But there were new songwriters that came into the mix. There was Justin Timberlake, his music director, I believe his name is Kevin Antunes, and I think a few other writers. And so what happened is that all the publishers, record labels, we had to have conversations to agree on new songwriting percentages and publishing percentages. And so what happens is called the most favored nations. So you have all these people that are coming into partnership to agree on the most favored percentages based on what we all said. Okay, you know what? I can agree to this, agree to that. And we finally agreed. And that record, their CD, it broke records. They were the highest selling boy band to sell the most records in 1 week. In 1 week, they sold like 2.5 million copies. And that record went on to sell. At the time, it was released in 2000, but to date, it sold more than almost 25 million units. And at the time, I think it peaked, during the time when the record was out at about 11, 12 million. And so I received a Diamond Award plaque, which commemorates the sale of more than 10 million units. And so that whole project, from, Teddy Pendergrass, the remix. And so just to see how God uses, I attribute it to my life, God used something, a seed that was already planted, something that was already produced, and it was formulated, and it continued to bless. It went on to do something else. It did something else. And as a result, it was such a blessing in my life. And that project, there were so many different royalty streams that I never even knew that existed. And another thing that it did, it really gave me the understanding of how much that I had been ripped off up until that point. See, because a major project on that level, there were so many different streaming situations. There was licensing. There was a TV special that they had. So there was payment from the television special, from all the licensing that was done, performance royalties, mechanical royalties, publishing. So many different things were going on. And so I came to understand when that project was released, like I said, how many streams are always available, but you have people that are ripping you off. You're not being paid the way that you should be. Every single time when a record is released into the marketplace, you should get every piece of the pie of what should come in. But unfortunately, those things don't take place. So just wanted to share this with you. Teddy Pendergrass's Believe in Love was remixed, and that remix was birthed into a whole nother song that was life-changing. So I hope that you enjoyed this, another portion, another presentation of life and music, and have a whole lot more to say. I have some other things that are going to be released. Please check out my music on my website at KeithRobertsonmusic.com. That's KeithRobertson music.com. Please check out my music. I hope you like it. Please, like my videos, share them. Until next time.